strongest going into earnings. I did say this is my favorite. You know what? I'm going to take a risk. I love this chart on IBM. I'm buying some IBM common shares into this earnings report. I'm going to do it. Ready? Buy... What's 100 shares? 22,000? 5% position. I'm buying a 5% position in IBM. I just did it. This chart's gorgeous. And it's like an underlooked company. So they could always have... I was reading somewhere about this shift to AI software, and it's all about the data and who has a lot of data. There's like Snow that everyone knows about, but one of them, like in the top 5 that someone published was IBM. But they have a lot of... look at this move in IBM. I'm going to move it to the top of my top list here. Okay, so that's IBM. Look at IBM exploding into the close. Oh my god. Look at IBM, yo. Something up, baby. I like IBM. I like IBM. Should I do it? I'm going to get one contract just because I have a feeling. All right, ready? I'm going to get one contract. Buy calls. What's 3 months out? January, February, March. What was it? March 21st? Okay, you go March 21st, 250. One contract is $350. You know what? I'm going to put $1,000 in this. All right? I did it. That's a lotto for you. 250 calls, 2 months out on IBM. Let's see what happens. IBM was winner chicken dinner here.
Yeah,
there we go.
Look at that. Good job.
There we go.
The money will flow.
There we go, baby. I love it when I make a good prediction. IBM, baby. Oh yeah. Let's. Now, speaking of defense and space, the company I had on my watch list, which I own actually, I have some in my long-term account, Redwire Corporation, huge acquisition, really kind of a merger because market cap's 981 million, and they're buying Edge Autonomy for 925 million. So yes, very much like a merger, and most of it's being paid in stock. Check out the title of this. No, that's not the one I want. Oh yes, it is. Reported Sunday, Redwire to acquire Edge Autonomy, a 925 million deal, transforming into a multi-domain space and defense leader. What perfect timing. All right, those are the sectors that we're interested in today. So Redwire doubling in size, becoming a space and defense leader. Also, the deal is accretive to earnings. So this one's looking good today. I have to say there's a possibility of an 1854 swing target, meaning the proximal high there. Is that an all-time high? It is. That proximal all-time high, it is an all-time high. It's also proximal. 1854, that was back a couple weeks ago, I guess, on January 6th. So stock here at 1587, doubling the size of the company, and the accretive acquisition in the defense and space sectors. Really hot sentiment today. So Redwire is going to be a focus in our community today. Strongest going into earnings. I did say this is my favorite. You know what? I'm going to take a risk. I love this chart on IBM. I'm buying some IBM common shares into this earnings report. I'm going to do it. Ready? Buy... What's 100 shares? 22,000? 5% position. I'm buying a 5% position in IBM. I just did it. This chart's gorgeous. And it's like an underlooked company. So they could always have... I was reading somewhere about this shift to AI software, and it's all about the data and who has a lot of data. There's like Snow that everyone knows about, but one of them, like in the top 5 that someone published was IBM. but they have a lot of. Look at this. Look at this move in IBM. I'm gonna move it to the top of my top list here. Okay, so that's IBM. Look at IBM exploding into the close. Oh my gosh! Now look at IBM, yo. Something up, baby. I like IBM. I like IBM. Should I do it? I'm gonna get one contract just because I have a feeling. All right, ready? I'm gonna get one contract. Buy calls. What's 3 months out? January, February, March. What was it? March 21st? Okay, you go March 21st, 250. One contract is $350. You know what? I'm gonna put $1,000 in this. All right, I did it. That's a lotto for you. 250 calls, 2 months out on IBM. Let's see what happens. IBM was winner chicken dinner here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at that. Good job.
There we go.
The money will flow.
There we go, baby. I love it when I make a good prediction. IBM, baby. PBI out with some news. We played this. I played this successfully many times. There's some news out there today. You can take a look at it. Looks interesting. Paying down some debt. Pre-announcing. Let me see something up. I don't know. Something up here. Okay. Pre-announcing revenue within guidance and adjusted EBITDA above guidance. All right. So that's positive PR. You can take a look at that. So let's go for top picks. I gotta put PBI in here. I gotta do it. PBI, there's a big wall at 750. I decided to start eating into that. Take a nice chunk. 79,000 shares left. But I've had success trading PBI on positive news. Really good success with it. So 755. What are the candles after 755? I think this news warrants a break of the 50 DMA. You break the 50 DMA, you get to these candles at 768. 768 is your target. Okay, may seem like nothing, but 768. That's 18 cents divided by 750. That's a 2.4% return. I'll take it. On a day like today, I'll take a 2.4% return. So PBI going to be on the top of the list today. Now, speaking of defense and space, the company I had on my watch list, which I own actually, I have some in my long-term account, Redwire Corporation. Huge acquisition, really kind of a merger because market cap's 981 million, and they're buying Edge Autonomy for 925 million. So yes, very much like a merger, and most of it's being paid in stock. Check out the title of this. No, that's not the one I want. Oh yes, it is. Reported Sunday, Redwire to acquire Edge Autonomy, a 925 million deal, transforming into a multi-domain space and defense leader. What perfect timing. All right, those are the sectors that we're interested in today. So Redwire doubling in size, becoming a space and defense leader. Also, the deal is accretive to earnings. So this one's looking good today. I have to say there's a possibility of an 1854 swing target, meaning the proximal high there. Is that an all-time high? It is. That proximal all-time high, it is an all-time high. It's also proximal. 1854, that was back a couple weeks ago, I guess, on January 6th. So stock here at 1587, doubling the size of the company, and the accretive acquisition in the defense and space sectors. Really hot sentiment today. So Redwire going to be a focus in our community today. Hey guys, I want to share a thought for those of you who are listening to the wheel show we had today. I had a very, very hard time finding yields of
60 to 100%, which is where I try to land it. The best I was getting, it was more like 40 to 50%, right? So that's a sign. You know, I said earlier, I'm thinking of just holding a few things and being cash rich into next week. It could be a sell-off here into next week. This is the first full week after Trump's inauguration, so a lot of people got excited. Markets went up. We could use a correction next week, and I'm telling you, it's very rare for me not to be able to find puts easily with yields of like 80 to 100%. Very rare. They're always available. I mean, if you were on the show, you were watching. It was like 40 minutes long, and I could barely find anything. So that's a sign, guys. I'm going to look to really slim down my end of the day.
Now, speaking of defense and space, the company I had on my watch list, which I own actually, I have some in my long-term account, Redwire Corporation, huge acquisition, really kind of a merger because market cap's 981 million, and they're buying Edge Autonomy for 925 million. So yes, very much like a merger, and most of it's being paid in stock. Check out the title of this. No, that's not the one I want. Oh yes, it is. Reported Sunday, Redwire to acquire Edge Autonomy, a 925 million deal, transforming into a multi-domain space and defense leader. What perfect timing. All right, those are the sectors that we're interested in today. So Redwire doubling in size, becoming a space and defense leader. Also, the deal is accretive to earnings. So this one's looking good today. I have to say there's a possibility of an 1854 swing target, meaning the proximal high there. Is that an all-time high? It is. That proximal all-time high, it is an all-time high. It's also proximal. 1854, that was back a couple weeks ago, I guess, on January 6th. So stock here at 1587, doubling the size of the company, and the accretive acquisition in the defense and space sectors. Really hot sentiment today. So Redwire is going to be a focus in our community today.
Still have my eye on Geo. This is one that I still feel, even if we get a more deeper market pullback, Geo can still break out incredibly here between this week and next week. Let's see if that happens. That's the immigration enforcement stock. That's a Trump inauguration event anticipation play. January 20th, inauguration day, also happens to be Martin Luther King Day. The markets are going to be closed on Monday, January 20th, which means the market cannot immediately react to any news that happens that day in regards to executive orders that Trump puts out on immigration or whatever it is. If they want to play the executive orders on January 20th on immigration, you got to be in Geo by January 17th, okay? So this makes me even more bullish Geo, especially the timing of it with January 17th. This is broken out to all-time new highs, closing at 31.13. I got a target of 35 to 38 on this. Okay, 35 more of the psychological resistance, 38 Fibonacci extension. This is my largest position by far, and I would say it's my highest conviction pick even now. Looking at the macro situation this morning, looking at the indices, looking at the news, Geo, my number one pick right now, and my largest trade position. Okay, well, Geo, I am not backing down on this. This is my largest position. I might be wrong. It's $31 now. We're in $30 call, so if at least we stay here, we're not going to lose all our money, right? We're in the money, but I'm looking. My goal was 33 to 35 by the end of this week. Let's see. I think that can still happen. Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 4th. Welcome to Story Trading Pre-Market Prep. Got a special show for you today. We're going to be live on X, on YouTube, if you have the YouTube link, through 11 a.m. to the public, right? 2-hour show here right now through 9:30 a.m. Then we'll do some live trading at 9:30 a.m. through 10. Then we got an interview with a new company we'll talk about in a second. New idea for you. That's going to be 10 a.m. CEO interview, and then we'll resume live trading from 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. We've just killed it. If you've been with us in our Discord, in our live trading, we made a ton of money live trading ASTS on Friday. Yesterday, our account, my account, the official, unofficial trade account, an account I manage that's based on Discord trade ideas, up 77% year to date, hit a new high yesterday. Right through the volatility. New high Friday, right through the market drop. New high yesterday, right through the market drop. We are finding alpha every single day in our community based on the story trading philosophy, right? Story trading, the way we do it, our process is based on a belief in efficient markets. If markets are efficient, that means when you get a delta of information, you get a delta in price. So what we do, we start with the information. We don't start with the chart. We start with the catalyst. We look at that catalyst, which is a delta of information. We analyze the impact of the catalyst on sentiment, the impact of the catalyst on fundamentals based on our 20, 30 years of experience. And with the help of Godfather in our Discord, maybe call it 60 years of experience, right? We analyze the impact of those catalysts. These are the 4 pillars. Right? It starts with catalyst, then sentiment, then fundamentals. And then we try to quantify best we can how good of impact it is, how negative an impact it is, and then we go to the chart. Then we go to the technicals and we say, okay, well, we have a net positive impact because market sentiment is going to change in this direction or that direction, or the fundamentals will change in this direction or that direction. We look at the chart, we triangulate based on support and resistance, and we come up with a trade plan, and we look for immediate re-ratings. All right, we reject the notion that you can't time markets. You can. That's what we've been doing all year. We reject the notion that markets are chaotic and you can't understand them. There's a tweet I put out recently. Basically, a lot of people say like, "Oh, the market's so illogical," or "Look at this." Even when the tariff things comes and the scares and stuff like that. Man, I forgot the wording, but basically, what's illogical is to expect the market to act logically, right? Because the market's made of human beings. Human beings are emotional. Human beings trade on sentiment. So it's logical for human beings to believe that human beings will trade on sentiment. If you're sitting there and saying the market should trade based on a spreadsheet, based on the numbers, and you're expecting that, you're the illogical one because you don't understand who humans are. All right. Humans trade based on sentiment, based on hope, based on fear, based on anticipation, based on speculation. And that's the real market. That's how real market values are created, based on these human emotions. That's logical to expect that. So when you get drops when there's bad news and pops when there's good news and you think it's an overreaction, no, it's not an overreaction. That's the correct reaction based on human behavior. That's logical to expect that. All right. So that's what we believe. So we believe markets are not chaotic. Markets are understandable if you look at it through the lens of our 4 pillars: catalyst, sentiment, fundamentals, and technicals. And that's why we've been able to predict rapid re-ratings all year long. All right. The trade account that I most recently set up here in October, based on our Discord, is up like 2,500% since October, up 77% year to date. So let's see if we can find that alpha today. Now, look at this. We go straight to our ERs. We don't even need to look at the macro, right, at this point, because I don't know of any, there's no scares right now. We'll peek at it. We'll look at these DMAs and stuff. But, the Mexico and the Canada tariffs off the table. I think over time you're going to find people gaining more trust in Trump. Now, China retaliates with 15% tariffs on certain items. It only comes to a net increase of 2 or 3% in tariffs. But in any case, let's actually briefly look at the QQQ and SPY. 2050 DMA over here, 518 to 519. So we're trying to get back above the 20 DMA on the QQQ. SPY, the 50 DMA, 597. But you know what? Like, what matters to me is that we're not in free fall. That's the only reason I look at these indices, to be like, are we relatively stable? Yes or no? Like, if we're in free fall, then you want to be careful playing in catalysts on individual companies. You might not get the reactions you want. But if we're relatively stable, okay, Then you can look at the catalyst, the process I just talked about, and you can be much more aggressive, and you'll have much more accurate predictions, predicting how the market's going to act. Like if your market's in free fall, then you're going to have algos selling everything off, and it becomes a little bit harder. We don't have that right now. We have a relatively stable market here this morning. So let's start with these ERs, and we'll get into some other catalysts and top picks. Good morning, Rhett. How you doing?
Morning, Ben. How's it going?
Doing okay. Still a little congested here, but looking forward. Got my coffee here. We got a long show till 10 a.m. No, 11
Cheers.
a.m. So, guys, make sure to, wherever you're watching this from, tweet, retweet, like, get as many people as we can on the show today through 11 a.m. All right. You can see the ERs here, the most famous ones, obviously. Palantir, Spotify, PayPal. Those are the big ones that people are talking about. Palantir, look, I scalped this last night from $95 to $99. It was obvious $100 is a magnet, but congratulations to all the long-term bulls on this who were not, daunted by the high valuations. I basically exited right around here, right there. I don't know if it was before or after this gap, right in like the mid 40s. I wrote it from somewhere in the teens or 20 to like the mid 40s. I'm like, this valuation is too much for me. So I don't really trade Palantir because the valuation is too much, but I know lots of crazy bulls on this who just don't sell their shares like people did with Tesla. So if you're one of them, congratulations. Over $100. I'm not going to chase it. I can't. I need to trade something that has reasonable valuations, and it may grow into it one day. Probably will. 190 billion market cap. Maybe it'll be $1 trillion company one day, but based on the multiples, it's just something I'm going to avoid. So congrats to all those people, including my brother and my nephew, who just been holding on to this thing since like $50 or something. All right. Rhett, I'm sure you know a lot of those folks, right?
Oh, yeah. My mom was one of them.
Unbelievable. But that's okay. Palantir is up 23% here, but we're up like almost 80% month to date. So we find the alpha regardless. All right. Man, I'm having a little hard time here, but here are the other ERs here. So PayPal missed, I think, on cash flow forecast. So I'm going to avoid this. Where are we at? 81.50. There is 81.79. Ooh, my gosh. This might be a good spot to buy, but it's not for me. I'm not going to trade this. The valuation looks really compelling on PayPal, but it's always looked very compelling. This one does not get a big multiple. So I think we have better things to play, but maybe it's a buy here right at that 81.79 support. It's 81.60, but pre-market, you can always shoot for. It's not as meaningful. So it might be a good spot there. All right. We have Spotify, which is up on a 10 million MAU beat. All right. But the EPS missed. The EPS guide even, I think, looked like it was missed. So I'm not going to trade this. But social media companies do trade more on MAU than on EPS. So if you're an expert in that area and you like that 10 million MAU beat, you can take a look at Spotify. All right. Now, IESC, given by the Godfather, is an earnings play. I'm in a call option on this one for earnings today, and I think a lot of people in our community are in this stock. Now, there's no analyst coverage on this. So, you can see here the titles. The headline, profit surges 37%, EPS 264 versus 186 last year. So numbers look good, but there's nothing to compare it against. So I can't make a prediction for you. That'll be Godfather in our Discord, who will let us know what he thinks of this earnings report. But it came down because of DeepSeek over here. This was the AI infrastructure announcement with Trump. So it went up like that. Then you had a Christmas tree on DeepSeek. And now hopefully you're going to get a bounce back on the earnings report. So that's something we're playing. Now, a couple ERs that may be flying under the radar this morning to look at. One is Regeneron. All right, Regeneron. Now, well, look, it's like kind of chopping. I don't know Regeneron well. All I can tell you is they beat on revenue. They beat on EPS. They added a $3 billion buyback. They added a first ever dividend of 88 cents. However, stocks move on the guide, not on just what happened. Okay. And from a guide perspective, they did not provide an EPS guide. They provided a guide on like CapEx and margins and things like that. Okay. So I don't have a financial model here to know how that's going to impact the EPS versus the analyst estimates. So I really don't know how this is going to play out today. However, I'll tell you, just based on the EPS that just happened, if you annualize that, you're talking about a 14 PE on a stock that's been demolished from 1,200 to 600. The stock is cut in half, all right? They just beat on all those metrics. Okay. They added a buyback and a dividend. So I took a bet on this. I'm down on it. Took a bet on it at like 690. And we'll see how this one plays out. I'm comfortable with the allocation size I got, so I'm not going to have a stop loss on this. That's how I manage risk, by the way, not with stop losses, but with proper allocation size. All right. And then I'll sell when it's clear that the thesis is wrong, right? If I find out and research and say, hey, it's down because the guide was bad, the capex was much higher than expected, or whatever it is, and margins are really low. And I'm like, all right, well, now I understand why the stock's down from 1,200 to 600. Now I'm going to sell. That's how I sell. That's my stop loss. My stop loss is the thesis and the story being invalidated, not the price. Okay, that's how we do it at story trading. All right, and again, we manage that risk based on allocation size. So I took a position in Regeneron this morning. Another one that could be flying under the radar, Rambus. Last night, I think they beat EPS by 20%, but the guide only beat by 2%. The guide beat by 2%. You know, this is a stock that the DeepSeek dump over here, and you beat by 2%. You beat by 20%. Guide beat by 2%. Maybe it needs to make a comeback to like 62 or something. I got in at $60.15, so you can see I'm up on that 60.50 versus 61.40. I think you can have a target of 62 on this. You see, basically the prior supports before the DeepSeek. So prior supports before the DeepSeek were around 62.35. We're at 60.50 versus 61.50. So maybe Regeneron and Rambus are flying under the radar. I look for things that are flying under the radar, especially when everyone's focus is on Palantir. You might all of a sudden at 9:30 a.m. see a bunch of institutional money come in because every retail eye is on Palantir this morning. So that's why I was looking for things like Regeneron and Rambus this morning. So took some small positions in those this morning. All right. Let me just check. It's 9:13. Something just came in our Discord. Let me just check that. Someone wanted me to look into Grab, and we'll talk about BBAI as well. Oh, is BHAT ripping? Let's see. Let's see what happened to BHAT. Oh, down 7%. And Grab, I don't like trading Grab because it's up 8%. I guess there was some news on it this morning. The reason I don't like trading Grab is because the outstanding shares is crazy. What is the outstanding shares on this Grab? 4 billion outstanding shares. So this looks like a cheap company that can have big percent moves, but not really. It's a $18 billion company trading for $4.50. So again, some people are like, oh, it's in that range, right? They expect a $4.50 stock. If it has good news, it could jump to $6, $7, $8 in a blink of an eye. Not with this 18 billion market cap. So I'm not sure what the news is here on Grab, but I think we have better things to play. And BBI, we'll talk about BBAI in a second. All right, so that's the ERs. Whoa. Later, I guess for Discord, I don't have it here, but we have to make a list of what ERs are happening tonight and tomorrow morning in case you want to make any ER bets on those tonight and tomorrow morning. You can also have ER anticipation runs into the 4 p.m. hour on the ones that are reporting tonight and tomorrow morning. All right, let's head on over to our top list. Okay, this is where all the action happens. All the beauty happens. Well, SNES Tech, this is the CEO we're interviewing at 10 a.m. today. Apparently, they have many catalysts coming up this year. They're very excited for the company, and I think we'll find out more. But the reason they want to get the word out now and be on our show is because they think it's an inflection year for them, and they want to get the word out about all the catalysts coming up. So we'll hear about that. I don't have a position yet, but if I get a chance, I might actually add a position before the interview to hear what he has to say. So that's SNES, small market cap, beware, 3 million. It's about pest control. It's a rat control company using fertility control rather than poison. All right, we'll talk about that at 10 a.m. Now, to our top picks for today, aside from that. Look, we've been absolutely killing it on ASTS, on PBI. We've been all over these things on NBIS. And I have to say, let me just check the newsfeed this morning on our top list, see if there's anything I missed here since the show started. But if we don't have a strong catalyst, I know Berkshire raises their stake in Siri, but I never had good luck. Like every time you raise a stake in Occidental Petroleum, I tried that a couple times, didn't really work. All right.
They raised that
So
to 35%, right?
yeah, something like that. But yeah, it didn't work for me with Oxy. So I'm going to shy away from that. Okay, so Regeneron, here's a reason why it may be pulling back during the conference call happening now, I guess. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals exec says Eylea net sales will be negatively impacted in Q1 2025 as increase in inventory is absorbed. Okay, so Regeneron might not do as good as I wanted here. Okay, so we've been killing it. We've been absolutely killing it on NBS, Fubo, ASTS, and PBI. And what looks to be the absence of a very strong catalyst that I feel strongly about here this morning, I think our top picks are going to be focused on just continuation plays on these stocks. Okay, so let's go through these here. Let's look at technical levels and review the theses a little bit. It's 9:17 a.m. I'll tell you right now, last night I talked about in our Discord of a potential little reallocation in my trade account to basically be almost solely focused on these four stocks. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Something like a 15% common share position in each of these, right? That would add up to 60%, and maybe like 2%, 2.5% options exposure in each of them, right? So it'd be a total of 10% options exposure in the account and a total of 70%. Very bullish on each and every one of these four stocks right now. Each and every one of these have proximal catalyst, proximal meaning just happen or will happen soon. And that's what we look for at story trading. Because again, remember we talked about delta of information causes a delta in price. So that delta information, you need a proximal catalyst because markets are efficient. You want to have that re-rating. So you need that catalyst to just have happened or coming up soon. All right. So let's see. NBIS here. I mean, this is a story of a re-rating from the DeepSeek drop. And we're just getting into this gap now. All right. I think with Palantir, I think the whole AI sector can get a bid today. Actually, let's look at our AI list. Let's see how AI infrastructure is doing this morning. ASML up 1%, NVIDIA 2% down. I mean, down 0.2%. Definitely, it looks like you're definitely seeing more money, and we've seen a continuation of this. Not necessarily. It's just NVIDIA. It's really just NVIDIA that's been seeing the money outflow, because look at these other hardware AI infrastructure stocks. TSM up 2%, TSSI up 2%, IESC, right, just had their earnings, up 5%. NBIS is up this morning. So I think, there could be some money flowing into the entire AI sector because of Palantir. Also, I think CEO made a comment there about DeepSeek being like dangerous for people to use, something like that. All right. So, I'm thinking that NBIS, it's time to get into this gap. All right. We briefly went into the gap the other day, but I think we're going to get back into this gap. And once you're back into this gap, well, let's see what this level is here, 3460. So you may have some resistance at 3460. Oh my gosh, look how to the penny. Do you see this when it went over the 20 DMA? So instead of going to gap fill up here, it went to the support right there, 3460, and that's where it got rejected. So NBIS 3460 is your key level. If you break 3460, that's when you start moving dollars. That's when you start moving dollars towards the upper 30s and eventually back to 43. So NBIS is in play. Look at the RSI is really reset low. So I really like this. Again, I think the DeepSeek stuff is basically calmed down. Now you got Palantir. So I think with these low RSIs, you're going to see these AI infrastructure stocks make a comeback. All right. So this is a top swing pick for me right now. 3460 resistance, and then you can move several dollars higher. Okay, that's NBIS. ASTS. Oh, did we absolutely murder this on Thursday and Friday? Look at these. We all over these big open green candles. Let me just say this. It's 9:20 a.m. Like, if you're part of our Discord, you know how I feel about this, but the bottom is in, guys. Inflection point has been reached. I mean, I can't repeat this so many times. I was on Wolf Spaces twice yesterday, given the thesis. I spent like 5 minutes talking about the thesis. So I'm not going to spend another 5 minutes now. But inflection is in. The bottom is in. ASTS might be a $50 to $150 stock 6 to 12 months from now. Okay. I'm looking for a break of the 50 DMA. All right. This is what separates us from technical investors. Technical investors will be like, oh, this thing's still in a downtrend. Let's get above the 50 DMA, or maybe they'll draw their own lines, right? And be like, let's get above this line. No. All right. We look at the catalysts, all right, and we anticipate the immediate re-rating that investors are going to do. How are investors going to interpret this catalyst that happened? And you get ahead of it. You don't wait like for technical trader. You don't wait for technicals. You say, we're going to break the technicals because of all the great catalysts that have happened Thursday and Friday with ASTS and all the great catalysts that are coming up in the next few weeks. All right. I'm not going to tell you what those are here. But if you want to know the details, it can be part of our Discord. Rhett, put that link down on the Discord, please, on the bottom. Let's update that banner. And also let people know. I need a couple banners. Put our story trading Discord down there, and then 10 a.m. CEO interview, followed by live trading after that. So ASTS bottom is in. I've added significantly to my long-term account on ASTS. And okay, so this one also, I feel like, 15% common shares, 2.5% options might be a good way to go. And it could continuation. We could have continuation today.
You got a comment just come in.
Eric, can I talk about Rocket Lab, SMCI, GameStop? I don't know that we have time. We want to focus. We want to focus on making a ton of money, so we don't want to be in a million places. But let's see. Fubo, another one. Fubo, $4.30. Now, I am going to tell you, there was some unusual extended hours action last night. Disney earnings are tomorrow. So Fubo, in a deal, Disney is going to be buying them and integrating them into their own services, we think. Disney's reporting tomorrow. Rhett, do you know, is Disney tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon?
I have not looked into that yet.
I'll check. All right, let's see. If anyone knows, just put in the chat. Let's see. Disney news. It is important, so we want to figure this out. I want a price target on RUM. Someone wants a price target on something. Okay. Can someone tell me, put in the chat, when is Disney earnings? If it's in the morning or the afternoon. Not able to find it here. Before the market opens. Okay, tomorrow morning. Okay, that's great. That means you can have an event anticipation run in Fubo. All right, people thinking maybe Disney's going to be talking about Fubo, and I think it's a good chance they will. $4.30 is your resistance level. You break 430, you can rapidly go to 460. Okay, so today, let's anticipate. I think based on the extended hours action last night, I don't know that you need Disney tomorrow morning for this technical action to happen. Okay, you could break 430 today, make a move to 460, and then it can pull back, and then we get Disney tomorrow morning, and then we see what happens based on what they say. Okay, now we think this thing is worth much more. We'll see if Disney unlocks that value tomorrow morning in their conference call. So we talked about NBIS, ASTS, Ripper. Today, I believe ASTS today will test this breakout level of 2261. All right. Pretty decent chance it'll pull back there initially. Anytime you get to a big resistance or support level on the first test, it usually fails. So intraday, at least, I think you'll be failing at 2260. And then maybe it retests it today and breaks through. But it might take another day or another catalyst to come to actually break through. We'll see. But 2260, your initial level. At this point, I think you're probably going to test 2260 at like 9:32 a.m. or something. All right. Okay. So NBIS, ASTS, Fubo, PBI. PBI is going to like $13, $14, folks. All right. 13, 14 bucks. I'm telling you, okay, we've been all over this name for multiple quarters. And another inflection quarter was pre-announced. Earnings are coming up relatively soon, I think. Next week. Earnings are coming up February 11th. And I think we're going to rip past 930 by then, okay? And within, who knows, a few weeks, maybe a couple months, then you're talking about maybe teens on. I have a price target, I think, of 10 to 12 is the price target for our Discord community. All right, so the top picks. Now, BBAI, I think, can now you want some cute things to trade during the day or whatever, right? Like BBAI can do well on Palantir Sympathy. I think it's 4, but let's see, 450. So 450, very choppy up here, though. Very choppy. Maybe 470. Maybe you can make a move to 470 this morning on BBAI if you want to play that. You know what? Let me just move IESC into the top. All right. And Regeneron's back to break even. So I made a mistake on that as of now based on those conference call comments. All right. Let me just throw that so I can manage my position in Regeneron and Rambus as well. Do I have room? Oh, no, I'm out of room. Oh, shoot. All right, so I got to delete something on this list. Where are we up to? It's 9:27 a.m. So I'm sorry, I won't be able to get to Rocket Lab, SMCI, GameStop, or RUM right now, guys. All right, Go EVQ. Oh my gosh. All right, so they're like bankrupt Go EV. So I can go back over here, and I can throw Rambus in the top of my list over here. All right, I'll tell you quickly. RCAT had a catalyst yesterday announcing their investor day together with Palantir. Will be at their investor day. Where's RCAT? Where's my RCAT? There it is. Disappeared on me. RCAT. Okay. So RCAT, if you look at the daily chart, probably going to test the 50 DMA today, I think, around 960. Let me throw that to the top. Disney earnings are tomorrow morning. Okay. So it's 9:28 a.m. So I got to manage my trades in a second here. But basically, my focus, as I was talking about, is going to be NBI, FUBO, and PBI, making sure I have adequate size on all of these. Want to try to get to those 15%. So bear with me here at 9:30 a.m. Might be some silence as I figure out and reallocate some of this stuff because I'm not where I want to be with my allocations completely. Okay. So I'm going to make ASTS number 1. We'll make NBIS and FUBO. Let's go FUBO actually number 2 with the catalyst tomorrow. NBIS number 3, then PBI. All right, that's where my focus is. Looks like I'm getting. All right, let me put an order to sell my Regeneron. All right. So I'll have to place some orders. So hang with me here after I get some orders in here. At like 9:32, I'll be able to chat again.
ASTS, FUBO, US. ASTS, FUBO, MBIS, and PBI.
All right.
PBI was your last one?
Yeah. All right, let's see what I got. And we're open. The problem with NBIS, the options are too expensive. So I don't know that I'm going to get it. I'm going to get options on NBIS. Okay. I think I'm going to add to my ASTS calls. Oh, no, they're too... Actually, I don't think so. The spread is too big. Maybe what I'll do is sell at 22.60 and try to get back in. Looks like ASTS is going right to that 2260, guys. Okay, RCAT and Rambus are looking good. I'm in some RCAT from yesterday. All right, I'm gonna. What is that? That's RCAT. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take some profits here on this other stuff because I want to look at ASTS. ASTS, where's the money at, guys? Again, third day in a row. So, just want to clean up my account a little bit so I can focus more on ASTS. All right, taking profits on RCAT, taking profits on Rambus. Okay. All right, going to take a loss on Regeneron. I have a 660 sell order. Actually, let's see. That's too big of a loss. Maybe I'll wait for a little higher. Oh, did it fill? Oh, filled. Oh, okay. Oh, it just filled. All right, I took a loss on Regeneron, unfortunately. I'm just going to delete that on my screen. So I made a mistake on that. Okay. All right, so now we can focus on our top four. RCAT looks like it is. RCAT and Rambus looks like they're heading to the targets, though. 960, I think I said on RCAT, and 62. Well, it's pretty much there. 62 on Rambus. Okay, so those targets are hit, and then BBI hit the 470 target. I don't think I think I have BBI a little bit in my Webull account, so let me sell that. Look at ASTS go. That's okay. So I took profits of 473 on BBI, and this is where the money's at. Look at this. Fubo, NBIS, here we go on all of these names. Our top picks, 2260 coming fast on ASTS. Okay, this is that major level. Maybe it makes sense to take some off here. You know what I'm going to do? I didn't quite reach it. 2254. Oh, look at Rambus up. Oh, what else do I have in this Webull here? Oh. Geo. I don't like Geo anymore, by the way. All right, watch that 430 on Fubo. There we go. Oh, I forgot to buy call options on Fubo. That's what I forgot. Damn it. That's what I wanted to do. $4 next week. I think that's what Yosef recommended yesterday. And I like those, actually. I really like those heading into this report with Disney. So let me pick some up. $4 next week. I just picked some up at 40 cents. Okay. And ASTS is unstoppable. Here we go to that 2260 target. And I'm going to, you know what? Maybe I will. I guess you got to use a limit order here. So you got to use a limit order. Look at Rambus. Okay, let's go. Rhett, can you please change the banner down there? Just make a clean banner for the CEO interview coming at 10 a.m. followed by live trading, please.
Yep.
Okay, let me go. What's the high day? 2255. I'm gonna go 2254 on ASTS, and maybe we can get back in. Okay, sold RCAT and Rambus. IESC not working out on that earnings bet that was made. I had one call option there. Okay, go down our list here. Oh, yeah. So Geo, right? Geo, I think I'm going to sell the last of my common shares on Geo. It's just, you see El Salvador offering their prison. So not only do you have Guantanamo Bay, but you have El Salvador. We made a ton of money. I still have some shares in my retirement account, and I am out of my shares right now, locking in big gains. Okay. All right. That was the last of those shares. Geo out of favor for now. Okay, so what I have a 22.54 sell order for some of my common shares on ASTS.
I picked up
Yeah,
a
a
few
little-
$4 calls for Fubo for this week.
$4 this week.
Yep,
Who did?
I
Who
did. Yeah, picked up $4, and then also the 450s, but the 450s I'm in super light.
Okay. Okay. Oh, let me just throw this up because we're going to be interviewing SNES pretty soon. Put that at the top of the list. This is where it's at, baby. We got, especially ASTS and Fubo, outperforming. We ordered these right too. In terms of 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. Oh, look at it, even based on the percentages. 4, 2, 1, 0. I'm not in SNES yet. I kind of want to hear what the CEO says, but I don't know. It looks like some of you are front running this, so no. I'm just gonna, just so I have it. I just want to have a placeholder here. Let's go. SNES.
Check Oclo. Oclo's tanking.
All right, I just got a couple shares. Nothing. You see that, like $1,000 worth. I just don't want to be hit with FOMO later if the interview goes great. So have something. Okay. Look at this ASTS, baby. Palantir is unbelievable, huh? Let me just check the share list for a second. PayPal's still down. Spot. Wait. Nothing crazy there. Okay. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty happy with. I'm sure there's half of FinTwit is trying to play like weekly calls on Palantir right now, and they're having parties and stuff like that. But you know, I think I'm pretty happy with ASTS and Fubo, NBIS and PBI right now. The comments here. Check Oclo. I mean, Oclo just unbelievable short squeeze to the all-time highs yesterday. And I'm not going to buy the dip. What are you asking me to do? Not going to do that. $6 billion market cap. At least, I don't know, 5 years away from making money. Maybe more. Chug getting a pump. Was there news on Chug? Okay. All right. Let me see something here. Let's have 4:30. TMDX up 5%. Man, we made so much money on TMDX in the first week of January. I think an analyst came out defending it yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they said the short report was bullshit or something. All right. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's a beautiful chart, actually. TMDX 7234. It's right at a resistance level right here, but man, that kind of looks like a little bit of sky blue breakout. Did I keep TMDX in my retirement account? Let's see. After that short report, let's see if I kept it. I did. Awesome. $66 is my average cost.
Ooh, up 50% on a Fubo.
Fubo, did it break 430? Oh, yes, it broke 430. Oh, that's what
Let's
I'm talking about.
go.
What did I tell you? 430 and
Bingo.
460. I said today.
88.
Today, 430 and 460. Right? We don't
There we
need
go.
to-
Let's go.
Right.
Hope you guys are banking with us.
what did I buy? I bought the $4 call options, which are up 25% now. I wish I bought more, but okay, got 100 of them. I'm up $1,000 on the call options, but got a nice common share position. I was adding to it last night to get to that 15% target on the common shares.
Trimming.
Actually, I was. Yosef is trimming.
No, I'm trimming it.
You're
So,
trimming. 460 is my target right now. 460 today. All right. You can trim. It might pull back for sure, but then it'll go back up. That's my target, 460. Yes. And we do it again. We find you that alpha. Oh, yes.
Over 100. Let's go.
There we go. Fubo, baby. I knew I should have bought two.
Time is it? Alrighty. 13 minutes, guys. 100% returns. There you go.
You are 100%. These call
Yeah.
options I bought at 41 cents, and they're now like 55 cents. So you got better ones because you bought the weekly. I bought next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I want to sell these call options. I think I'll just trade the common shares and keep the calls because I got till next week, and I think Disney might come out, and this thing might be like $6 by the end of the week.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll do a little bit. 460. That's the target for today, right? Yeah. Why should I? Okay, I have a lot of common shares, so I'm gonna sell a couple common shares here at 446, and maybe I can buy that back. Beautiful. That's what we're talking about. How do you like that prediction? Break 430 today to 460. You got to clip that later.
Yeah, I do.
Every day, every single day, we find the alpha. It's ridiculous. $447, $448. I knew I should have loaded those call options. They're so.
See how much I'm up now.
449.
122. $133.
Let me see what I have in my Weibo account. I only had common shares.
See, let's go. People follow. Let's go. Same that was how I feel.
9:45 a.m. When you get a chance, keep an eye on your email. Make sure that CEO has no issues getting on.
Yeah, I have it pulled up right here. Haven't gotten anything. They'll have the link in
447.
control both of them checked off.
Palantir keeps going. I bet you're making if you're doing this Fubo $4 call options with us, whether it's this week or next week, you're doing better than if you tried Palantir. It looks like Yosef.
You're doing significantly better.
Yeah, it looks like Yosef just trimmed some in our Discord, Fubo calls. I mean, I don't have a lot, so I'm not going to trim. This is more a bet on Disney. ER tomorrow, I'm up 23%.
Up 144% right now, so
Nice. I should have bought this week's. Why didn't I buy this week's?
not bad.
Whatever.
16 minutes of work.
Here we go. What I tell you?
$500,
460 is a
yeah.
target. I said today. You break 430, you quickly go to 460. I'm so good. Who needs, like, you don't need to draw your own lines. You don't need Fibonacci. You don't need all that fancy stuff that people charge for. You just need experience and the basic technicals that are on the charts already. All right. ASTS. Pull back. The dips will be bought in ASTS. Oh, it did it tagged it? It did tag it. Oh, because the 50 DMA moved down to 22.53. Where did I get the 22.60 from? Oh, it went down by a few cents today. So it actually did hit the target and pull back. Okay, so it did what I expected, actually. We're going to get rejected the first time. Now, if you retest AS, now you have a chance of breaking it in the afternoon or later this week. But let's see. I think if you get back to 22.55 today, you're going to break it today. All right. So, oh, that was a missed op. I didn't realize the 50 DMA dropped by 5 cents. That was an op to shave some there at that resistance on the first test, as was predicted on the pre-market show. All right. So, oh my gosh, I'm so congested.
Fix this up.
You know what? I'm going to sell a couple more Fubo common shares. See if we can get a dip. Okay. And look at that. What did I just tell you? The dips will be bought in ASTS.
Let's go.
Sorry about that. All right, let me put my head down for 1 second, and then Fubo comes right back. What is my Fubo? Let me see what my allocation is. I only have 1% in Fubo call options, and my target was 2.5%, so I was definitely light. Here we go to that 460 target now. 460 target incoming, guys. Let me double check that. I'm gonna make sure I have that right. So top of this 459, and the low of this day 455. Well, 455 to 459 actually, not necessarily 460. 455 to 459, kind of there. You know what? I'm going to sell a couple of my call options here. Got in at 40 cents, 41 cents, and sold them here at 59 cents. I didn't make a lot. Should have done this week's 41 to 59. Look at ASTS comeback. So now you retest that. You got to watch the RSI. But now it can potentially predict a break of this level, and then it can go crazy the next 2 weeks, especially with those catalysts coming up. Look how beautiful this is. Let's look at the weekly. Look at that weekly. 2360 actually could be your target on the next break. If we break that 22.55 and get another dollar out of it. Okay. PBI sleeper. It's coming.
Yep. You still got yours?
PBI?
Yeah.
Loaded. I got my full position. That I don't, I have my full. Actually, let me just see. PBI. Okay, I have I have a 1.8% position in call options and 14% common. So a little bit underweight of where I said that I'm going to be at. And ASTS, let's see. ASTS, I'm at 1.6% on options and 14% common. Yeah, I don't have enough. Honestly, I don't have enough. I don't have enough ASTS or Fubo.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have enough PBI calls. Common share, I'm good on.
Here we go. Ready?
100%.
Here we go. What did I say? You fail on the first test of the 50, then you go retest it, and now you have a chance to break it. Picture perfect, man. Oh my gosh. Picture perfect. Let's see. And then what I say? Okay, if we break above the 50 DMA here today, is it going to get rejected intraday a second time here? Nope, it's not. I called it. All right. So now you break this, and now your target is 2360. 2360, which could possibly come today. 23. And now you wonder, how the hell am I up 75% in a month? It's because these predictions are crazy, man. Like, this is routine. These type of predictions, it's ridiculous. I should be making much more. I should be up like 500%, but I'm very conservative with my allocations. Like, I didn't do weekly calls. Did next week's, I don't do out of the money calls. Wow. I could have made a freaking ton. Look at that. Look at that prediction. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. Where do I get the crystal ball from, guys? Unbelievable. I got 9:53 a.m. We got the SNES conference call. You know what? I gotta sell something. No, I don't. Man, I'm so light on ASTS actually. I only have 7% common and 1.6% calls. Oh shit. Why did I not notice that? Too much going on. Oh man, I'm light on ASTS. 2285, and again, the next target is 2360. 2360. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, look at those. We're winning all over the place, man. Those calls Joseph called out in the options channel.
Yeah.
Up over 100%.
Wow. Which one? ASTS?
The STS, the February 21st. These options are out a little while too.
I'm in February 21st 21s at $1.80 from yesterday. They're now $3. But I don't have a lot of them. Only 1.6% allocation. Man, shame on me. I said 2.5% I wanted to be at. I didn't do it. Did not listen to myself. Jeez. Here we go, man. 2360 target. Clean break of that 50 DMA. Low RSI on the daily. Low RSI curling up on the weekly. 2360 is your target. 2298. 20. You go. Right. 5 minutes left to the interview. 2310. 2312. What did I tell you? Oh my gosh, I'm so good at this. That's ridiculous. You know what? I'm going to set a limit order to sell my call options at 100% gain.
I have a level at 2321. Don't know when I marked that, but let me check. See what this is. See if it's resistance.
Oh, why didn't I go big in this? What's wrong with me? I'm like never wrong, and I'm just so tentative with my size. I don't know what's wrong with me. Ay. All right. Let's see. ASTS. right, you know what? I'm going to try to. I'm going to sell the common shares here on ASTS, see if I can buy it back lower. All right, so out at $22.99 on the common shares. Let's see if we can get a pullback. Oh, but we got the interview now in 3 minutes. All right, still got the call options. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? 23.12. Maybe I should get some lottos. Wow, look at these predictions. Oh my gosh. Oh, by the way, I made ASTS the pick of the week on Wolf Financial Spaces last night too.
Nice.
Yeah, baby. And Fubo. Those are my 2 picks of the week. ASTS and Fubo. We're winning this week, baby.
We stay winning.
All right, guys, we got 3 minutes until the CEO interview on SNES, SNES, and we're going to continue with live trading after that. So hang on through the interview. I'm thinking of getting some 25s. This is the ones that Yosef bought yesterday. Thinking of getting some 25 lottos. Yeah, it's a small position to start. All right, let's see. They're actually not even pulling back on price on this dip. 25 next week. They're like $1. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna get a couple of 25s next week. I think I got filled around $1, something like that.
Fubo, let's go.
Oh, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? What was the target? 455?
Mm-hmm.
There it is. 455. You got 2 minutes to the CEO interview.
Did Yosef just join?
Yeah, he's in this back in studio. Yosef, if you can stay there, we're gonna go back to live trading right after the CEO interview at 10:30 a.m. Oh, look at ASTS, baby. Oh my gosh, our predictions are just ridiculous. All right, 9:59 a.m. So we're going to be talking about SNES, SNES. You can see the daily chart right here. Recently spiked up to 5. I'm not sure what that was about, with high volume in December. Really high volume. Doubled. The pullback consolidated here around 280. Oops. Got 1 minute, guys. Just 1 second. And PBI is going to come back too, guys. All right. We're going to hit that countdown, hit the reset button. Got 721 people on, so hang on tight through this SNES CEO interview. We'll see you on the other side with live trading. Looks like our options trader, Yosef Levy, is going to be joining us on the other end. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, February 4th, here with a special CEO interview. It's Joel. Joel, good morning. How do you say your last name?
It's Fruent, just like Fluent.
Good thing I asked you, because I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah,
all right,
been called
Joel
a lot.
Fruent. just like Fluent. I'm going to write that down. So we got Joel here from SNES Tech, ticker symbol SNES. SNES Tech's a company I'm familiar with, actually. Back a few years ago, I traded this a little bit. There was a lot of excitement back then about their pest control, their rat control, fertility control. There were people thinking, oh my gosh, what if they get like a New York City subway contract? This thing's going to explode. So I do remember the stock, Joel, back in the day. Why don't we start with your involvement with the company? I'm not sure when you started, when you became CEO. Give us a little history of your relationship with the company and through today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. And I've been the CEO now for just under 2.5 years. And so I came over at the end of 22. And my background prior to that is I had 16 years of experience in the vector management and pest control area. And that mainly had to do with mosquito control products and services. So really familiar with the mosquito control products, and that lent itself right to moving into the rodent control products.
Okay. So that was 3 years ago. And what was the condition of the company when you joined 3 years ago? What were, some challenges, or what were your goals, and how has that developed over the last 3 years?
Well, there was a product called ContraPest, which was a fertility control product for rats, and but it was a liquid product. It had some limitations as to where it could be used, simply because it didn't have the greatest shelf life, and it was a little bit harder to deploy out in the field compared to a solid product. And along with that, it was a little bit more expensive than the competitive products out there. So great product, had some good growth there. When I started looking at it, when I came over, I said, well, in order to really accelerate the growth, we're going to need to have a product that is a solid product, that has great shelf life, that's easy to deploy out in the field, and that is at a price point that is competitive with the other rodenticide type products out there. So while we kept working on ContraPest, and we have some loyal users of the product, immediately got working on it with our product development team. Is like, okay, how can we develop a solid product that would be the entry into many of the markets that we couldn't get into? Distribution, retail, international. Those are three of the major ones that we just couldn't get into with the ContraPest product. So we started working on that, and in January of 24, we launched a product, Evolve, which does all of those things and is a minimum risk product as designated by the EPA. So we jumped into the marketplace with that, and that has.
All right, what was the date on that, Evolve?
We launched in January of 24, so it's been on the market just over 1 year now.
Got it. Okay.
And then in May of 24, we launched the Evolve Mouse product. So we have two different formulations, one for rats, one for mice.
Oh, cool. And that's also called Evolve?
It's called Evolve Mouse, yes.
And that works the same way. Tell us a little bit about how this works in terms. Look, I unfortunately, I don't know if people want to know this, but we got mice in my house, and I know a lot of people probably do. Is this like a residential product that would work better than, I don't know, whatever the exterminators use out there for?
Well, yes,
residential house.
Yes, and it's a different. We're the only company and the only product that attacks the problem of rodents on the reproduction side. Here's the stat for the day. Just remember this: 2 rats can become 15,000 in 1 year.
Wow!
So with that rapid reproduction, and I don't think the marketplace and the people know that. So we've been really trying to get that fact out there, is that such rapid reproduction is, you can't poison them, you can't gas them, you can't drown them fast enough, because just as you're killing, there's so many more that are being born. So we really attack it on the reproduction side, and really we've come up with the tagline: restricts rodent reproduction. And so what that does is really reduces the population, so you can control them better. 10 rats are much easier to control than 100. 100 easier to control than 1,000. but 2 can become 15,000 in 1 year. In fact, Rent-A-Kill, the largest pest control company in the world, they said that in 3 years, under good conditions, 2 can become 500,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And mice in residential, is that the same kind of growth rate?
Yep, same thing. You know, their life cycle is a rat will live roughly a year to maybe a year and a half. During that time, they'll have 6 to 8 litters of pups, and between 6 and 10 per litter. So they start reproducing when they're 2 months old.
Wow.
And that's an amazing thing. So what we did is we developed a product, Evolve, that has an active ingredient, cottonseed oil. So the product is all food additive ingredients. And what the cottonseed oil does, it works on both males and females. In the males, it really starts limiting sperm production, and in the females, starts limiting egg production. So the product is put out in the field in bait stations, which are secure stations that just mice and rats can get into. On our label, it also allows for agricultural uses that you can broadcast the product. And agriculture is a huge marketplace for us, because agriculture is where you really see economic damage that's done. Sugarcane production, rats ravage sugarcane. There's a lot of destruction in the grain management area and poultry production. So there's a lot of economic losses there. And with this product, by limiting the population, you can really reduce the economic losses.
So do you have any data or proof of how well it works? Like if I were to get this product and put it in my home, does that mean I won't have any mice anymore within a certain amount of time?
Well, it works different than poisons do, right? If you put poisons, you're expecting to see death right away. What we are talking about is putting this out. And by the way, the palatability, or how much they like it, is off the charts. It has ingredients in it that they love. And the ingredients in it are things like oat flour, sugar, and oils, palm oil and soybean oil. So it's very attractive to them. And if it's available, they love to eat it. So what you do is you put it out, and after 4 to 6 weeks, you'll start to see a reduction in the size of the litters that are being born. And then our data shows that in our lab study is that after 1 breeding round of consumption, there was a 61% reduction in the amount of pups that are born. And then as they continue feeding on it through subsequent breeding rounds, you'll see a cumulative effect. And really the objective here is that in the course of 6 to 12 months is you'll have a 90+% reduction when used as part of an IPM program. And IPM programs, integrated pest management, are doing things like sanitation and exclusion and maybe using traps and those types of things.
Okay. So let's talk about opportunity for investors going forward, inflections. The reason, as I understand it, that you're here, you want to get the word out. First of all, it's a very small company a lot of people don't know about. We're talking about a $3 million market cap. As I understand it, you have a lot of catalysts you believe are coming this year, and it could be an inflection year for you, 2025. I know the number one thing on people's minds when they hear about this product is, there's 2 reasons why a trader or investor would invest in a small company. It's either because they're looking for that inflection, cumulatively getting to profitability. When I say cumulative, I mean just like not one big catalyst, but like over time, right? Over time, you're building up your revenue, cutting expense, and it's like, okay, great. This is a good opportunity. This small company is going to get the profitability I want in. Or the other reason they want in is because they think, wow, this company can have one big catalyst that'll just catapult it to success. So I know the first thing on people's minds when they hear about your company and your product is, wow, what if these guys get like an order for the New York City subway? That thing is infested with rats. Everyone's seen them. I don't know if you've been in them, but I live in the New York City metro area.
Yes.
And I've seen many of them. So, I'm sure that's one of the first things that comes to people's minds with this product. So at a $3 million market cap, is that the inflection, or what are the possible inflections that can, catapult your stock to the next level, or is it simply a slow and steady thing? If you're going to grow revenue little by little, and eventually you get to profitability, what's the opportunity here for investors?
Well, I think that there's many opportunities here, and the inflection points. There's many inflection points because now we have a product that is able to be used throughout distribution, and retail, and international distribution. So that's the number one thing. With ContraPest, we really couldn't do that. So a year ago, we really didn't have a product that could be used in all those marketplaces. I'll start off with you mentioned New York City. So we started working with New York City, and when we came out with the Evolve product, and showed them that there was a way that you could have a solid product that could be used out in various areas in the city for effective population control. And they came back to us with some questions. The city council approved what they called their contraceptive plan. And we were able to get an order from New York City in December that we'll be shipping out to them in April. So we've had some great success on that front.
And where in New York City is that going to be used?
Well, they're going to designate a few 10 square block areas, and they're going to deploy it out there, and they're going to use it as kind of a pilot project.
Wow.
And then as they see success, which we're positive they'll see success, they're going to measure the populations. You can do that via cameras and tracking devices and those types of things. But you can, when they see that, the success, then they're going to expand it to other areas of the city. So we're very excited about that. Kudos to New York City and the city council, because they started looking at alternatives, because ultimately, if the same things that you were using were working, such as poisons, then it would have been under control 50 years ago, because that's how long they've been using poisons. So you gotta control the population side, and then to make the kill side, the death side, the lethal side, whatever you want to call it, getting rid of them, much more effective in itself. So they work together hand in hand. One without the other just is not as effective as if they're working together. So New York City, we recently got an order from Baltimore. So wow. We're starting to see some penetration into the municipal, the city, the governmental markets, which is sure.
So have these been? I didn't realize you had just basically have pilot programs going on in New York City and Baltimore. Have each of these been press released? Something known about?
We press released the Baltimore one, and we haven't done anything with New York City yet until we get to it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay. That's interesting. I might have to pick up some shares on that. So you have a pilot program going on with New York City that has not been PR'd. Wow. What's the potential? First of all, how long do you think the pilot program will take until they come to a conclusion?
Well, it's planned for 1 year. And so, we'll just have to see how it goes within that year and what the results are and how much they want to expand on that. But we're excited about it.
And what are the range of possible outcomes if that is successful after a 1 year pilot in terms of the revenue for you? What does that mean if it goes to the next level within?
Well, it's very substantial. It's a very substantial opportunity, naturally, because if there's one place that you always hear about rats, it's whether it's on Saturday Night Live or it's on NPR, is New York City. And, there were a lot of jokes that were made up about birth control when it came out. They said, what are these, like little condoms, those types of things. But they really examined the product and are put it out there for explaining what the pilot program is. And so they're going to be doing it. So in terms of, I don't want to give you any definitive numbers, but it's very substantial, because as you expand into the city and there's continuous consumption of the product, you're going to have a very substantial implication there, that there's going to be a lot of the product that's being used.
And in terms of manufacturing, is that also going to be a substantial task for you guys? Like, how much volume of this do you need, and can you handle manufacturing that?
Well, our manufacturing, we're set up when we initially put our lines in. We do all of our own manufacturing. We don't outsource that or anything. we made sure that we have enough production capacity for some of these big things that could happen. And municipal is not the only one. I mentioned agriculture, and we have some really big pilot projects that are going on in some of the agricultural areas, poultry production, egg production, sugarcane, and other row crop production, as well as grain management.
That makes sense. It makes sense that agriculture should be a big area for you, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued by the New York City subway because I see it. That's all. Like you talk about, like investors out there on Wall Street, they're looking for opportunity, and what they see. Most people, have never seen a farm or don't really know about that problem. It makes sense that that's a problem. But yeah, I'm super intrigued by this New York City subway thing. If I may dwell on that just a little bit more. So where's your manufacturing facility?
Phoenix, Arizona. So we do all of our manufacturing there, all of our inventory, all of our shipping are out of Phoenix.
Okay, and if you get an order for like the whole of New York City or the subways or whatever, is that enough facilities there to manufacture what they need? Would you need to make any capital investments to make that happen?
Well, actually, we're moving into a larger facility in April in Phoenix. Wow. So we're kind of planning.
How are you funding that?
Well, we were able to do a lot of different things with that in order to be able to move into the new facility that's in Surprise, Arizona, which is right outside of Phoenix.
Is this information right? I'm looking at my Webull platform. $2.86 million market cap. What is the outstanding shares? It shows here 1 million outstanding shares. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Are there other like warrants out there or anything?
There are some warrants that are out there.
What if they're all exercised or whatever? What would the fully diluted outstanding shares be?
If that would be 2 million shares. We got about a million warrants that are out there.
And so it'll be 1 for 1, like each warrant gives you 1 common share. So it'd be like, if they're all converted, it'd be 2 million outstanding shares.
Yes.
Wow. And do you know the strike price on those, the conversion price on those warrants?
They're at $4.15, I believe.
Okay, cool. Wow, this is fascinating. I did not expect this. I got to be honest with you. All right, that's pretty cool. Now, I hear there's also some other opportunities you touched on a little bit with retail in terms of getting into big box retail or the e-commerce side to directly, sell to retail. What are you more excited about this year? Right, the opportunity to sell this direct to retail via big box retailers and e-commerce sites, or some of these bigger possible deals that may come, I guess, a year from now if these pilot programs are done in agriculture, Baltimore, New York City. What is the thing that you're more excited about, and maybe give us a little more detail on the retail side that you're working on?
Well, certainly retail is exciting. We started out in June of last year. We were able to get onto Amazon, and so you can buy our products on Amazon, Evolve Mouse, SNES, go there. We were able to get onto Walmart.com 60 days ago, roughly.
Oh, really?
Yes. So on Walmart.com, and just last week we were on TractorSupply.com, which is key for us in that ag sector. So we have all of those places now that you can go online and buy those, and there'll be more coming along as we're pursuing other avenues there. But we think that the .com and the e-commerce stores, and we also have our own e-commerce at SNEStech.com. So there's multiple ways that you can buy the product online, and we can see a lot of repeat customers there. We think that will then lead into being able to get into the brick and mortar portion of that with Tractor Supply and Walmart. Wow. And that's very exciting for us because we've been able to do some presentations, some line reviews. So, with the brick and mortar, they're really planning now for next year, although they do things like, okay, we'll put it into, a certain area to start off. But so we think long-term that the retail part of that is going to be a big channel for us. But along with that, This is now a global product. We have 10 exclusive distributors that are around the globe, places like Hong Kong and Singapore and the Netherlands. And we're starting to get orders there. And we're in discussions with about another 20 different international distributors because when we take a look at what this does and how it does it and the impact it can have, we're getting a lot of interest. We just signed up a distributor in India, for example. Huge rat problem there. So we're starting to
Does that one be PR'd? The India distributor?
I think it came out this morning.
Oh, there was a PR this morning. Did I miss it?
Well, if it didn't hit this morning, it's coming out tomorrow. But we did sign up a distributor in India, and
okay. You're full of surprises here. Let me just check my newsfeed. I don't see it. Okay. All right. Cool.
So anyway, along those lines, we think the global market for outside of the U.S. is about $4.2 billion for rodenticides, things that are used to try to limit rodent damage.
Are there competitors that do the same thing as you, like fertility control?
No, we're the only ones that are out there with this product. Yes.
Okay. This interview's turning out.
And the marketplace for rodenticides in the U.S. is about $1 billion. So that's divided into pest management, and that's where the product is based, and where it's really used the most right now is in the pest management industry. So big pest control companies are starting to put this in as part of their services that they offer. And of course, they do things like municipal contracts as well as private contracts. So they're really touching on a huge marketplace here.
So Joel, let me go back and finish the thought I had earlier. In terms of an inflection point for the company, now that we have a better understanding of all the opportunities, is it this growth into retail that you're more excited about? I'm talking about like within the next 4 quarters, right? Within the year 2025, right? Do you really see that inflection coming from the retail side? Do you see it coming from Baltimore, New York City converting to a full program, after their pilot's finished? Or do you see it from just a slow incremental cumulative thing from slowly kind of getting to profitability from here and there? Like what are you most excited about? What's going to be your inflection here in the year 2025?
Well, really excited about the opportunities that we have in pest management and agriculture, because we've had that product out there now for about a year, and being a regulated product, which means you have to get state approvals for it. You have to get the EPA approval, or in our case, being a minimum risk product, the EPA designation that you're minimum risk. But it takes time because they all want to try the product out, do their own evaluation, and use it. And we're starting to see where we're getting past that point in pest management as well as in the agriculture business. And along those lines, we have some great distributors that are set up now. As I mentioned before, we really couldn't do any type of distribution before with our ContraPest product, but now we have the top 4 pest management distributors in the United States that are handling our product. We also have 4 really good agriculture distributors that focus on poultry houses and egg production houses, as well as grain management areas. So really excited about that, because I think we're going to see that accelerate this year. Also really excited about our international opportunities, because we did a lot of legwork in 2024, getting the distributor set up, getting the product approved in those countries, and which is a lengthy process in itself. So there's a huge marketplace that we now have distributors focusing on. And then I think the longer term with retail, it's a great retail opportunity for us. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get into the line reviews and those types of things for the future. But definitely all of those areas, as well as I think we're going to continue to really grow our e-commerce business, being on all of the major e-tailers.
Okay, great. That sounds good. I forgot to make a disclosure here. I did tell our Discord earlier that SNES is a paid sponsor of Story Trading and what we're doing with our Discord and our community for the month of February. Just to make sure that get that disclosure out there. And I do own shares myself. I bought a little bit before the interview in case you said something great, and while you were talking, I bought more. So just want to be fully transparent with our relationship here. Let me just close it out with this. If you could speak to, you got a 3 million market cap here. What are your personal, maybe how much, by the way, what's your vets? Do you have like shares in the company?
I have options as compensation.
Okay, you have options. So what is your personal goal for the company in terms, like, how much do you think this company should be worth? What kind of valuation do you want to get it to? Are you looking to kind of get to a certain level and sell it, or are you just trying to, get the company to profitability? Like, what's your goal? How big do you think SNES can get, and kind of what time frame do you think is reasonable to reach that goal?
Well, I think the first goal naturally is getting to break even and then become cash flow positive. And we think that with the track that we're on right now is that we can get there sometime in early 26 is the way that it looks right now. And then once we get there, we should see some acceleration, because that means the product has been adopted, and then used on a continuing basis. So we're planning on repeat customers. That's the lifeblood of what we do naturally with a product like this. And then we're going to continue with our product development teams and see what other products that we can put into our line of products. Because ultimately, when I came in, it was like we were a one product company. Now we have multiple products. We have more options for our customers, different types of dispensing systems, those types of things. And when we get to the point where we have a product portfolio that's expanding and the products being used out of the field, that's when you're going to see the real growth acceleration.
Okay, great. Joel, it was nice meeting you. But this is the first time I talked to you, by the way. So very unscripted interview here. You did great. I was very impressed. It looks like we got a lot of catalysts coming up. Some catalysts people don't necessarily know about: New York City subway pilot program, international distribution agreement with India. That sounds very exciting. Also, we're going to be doing a panel discussion next Monday at 1 p.m. on X Spaces with Wolf Financial. So tune into that. That's the show that we have every week, Monday at 1 p.m. on Wolf, that I co-host with the small cap panel, where we talk about small cap stocks. So tune in for that next Monday, 1 p.m. on X Spaces. Joel, we'll be watching your progress. It looks like a very exciting opportunity. Good luck, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
Yep. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, that was fascinating.
Yeah, it was.
I did not expect all that. Hold on. Let's put the Discord link on the bottom there.
Sounds good. But yeah, I mean,
I
know at my house, like, we have that issue too with the like water rats, and those things are just a nuisance. Oh my gosh.
Look, we're going to get back to this incredible calls on ASTS, Fubo in a second. NBIS and PBI not breaking out yet. Look at BBI hit the target of 470. RCAT on the way to the target of 960. Rambus hit the target of 62 to 63. Been overall great morning. We got Yosef in the studio. We'll talk to him in a second. But yeah, I just want to kind of honestly speak to this, that obviously there's a disclosure we made that SNES is sponsoring us and paying us for some promotion we're doing for them this month. But I was kind of blown away by that, especially with this 3 million market cap and all these catalysts coming up, and the fact that some of these catalysts have not been PR'd yet. So I was buying during the interview. I got a average price of $298. I was like clicking away as he was talking. So let's actually look at the technicals here. It's breaking the 20 DMA here at 303. After this 303, get a little resistance here at 326. Might break that today because the bid ask is 306 by 323. Only a million shares outstanding. This is crazy. So 326 resistance. If it can break 326 resistance, we can make it to 370. Maybe that'll happen when they press release these things. I was shocked. They have a New York City pilot program going, and it is not PR'd. I did not know that. I did not know 90% of the stuff that was on that. That was a very unscripted interview. So that was fun. All right. That's that. Yosef, are you there?
Ben, hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I hear you. 3 days in a row, man.
Yo, I just want to say on SNES, I wasn't planning on joining for the interview, but I'm so happy I did. That was crazy. I was like listening to this guy, and I'm like, did he seriously just say that? Did he mean to say that? Does he know what they? And yeah, so I was really trying to buy, but I think he beat me to it. I kept putting on, like lifting my bid, but I wasn't able to get any. It's up like, but I left
It's
some
only a
bids in
3
there,
million
so I
market
think I'll
cap.
fill, hopefully.
I'm
But it's
actually now restricted. Fidelity restricted me from buying more because it's a low volume stock. Let me just see what the sizes that they allow now.
I look at Fubo. I'm about to
I
hit.
know
100%.
211% on those calls. Let's go, baby.
Well done, well done.
I know. Hold on. Let me
Still
just
holding
buy.
a few. But yeah, I mean,
Fidelity's limiting the volume per transaction to 500 shares. So I just bought another 500 shares of SNES. Look, when they press release this thing, this is crazy. This thing will probably easily go to 370. All right. Wow, what a ridiculous call once again on Fubo. I wish I did big side. Yosef, you see my problem. I'm like, I didn't even listen to myself. I'm like, I want to do 15% and 2.5% calls. I totally forgot about the Fubo calls in the open.
Yeah, the open you could have bought like the calls I got yesterday before the close. I doubled up just after the open, and I was able to get the same price.
Wow, that's crazy. So that's the 30 cents, right?
30. I got it for 35 cents.
All right, fine. I bought them for 41. Even after the pop, it only went up 6 cents. Believe it or not.
That was very good. Well done. Yeah.
But I didn't buy enough. I only got a 1% exposure after telling myself that 2.5% is what I would be comfortable with, and I just didn't do it. So it sucks when I make these like really accurate calls, but I'm just not aggressive enough sometimes on my size. But anyway,
yeah.
Fubo it hit the target range, so I'm not sure the rest of the day.
Yeah, I sold a lot. I literally have, a smaller amount left that I'm trying to sell at 100% gain, which would be 70 cents, which is the ask right now. Well, now it's 68 cents. But anyway, yeah, I've sold a lot on the way up, so I'm happy.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty much out on Fubo since it's in the target range. But man, super interesting with that SNES, just due to the fact like
by that. Yeah, I hear.
Huh?
Wait, we'll get back to that. You want to get back to that? We'll go back to that. Hold on. Let me actually sell some Fubo. You guys are encouraging me. It's in the target range, so let me just sell another 2,000 common shares here. Fubo.
Yeah.
Not good to get greedy. Although I really think Disney's tomorrow morning. I think there's a possibility. So actually, what I did is I'm taking some profits on Fubo. Sorry, I'll come back to Synestic. I'm taking some profits on Fubo, but I bought some 450. No, wait a second.
Oh, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Get some lottos.
I bought
into
next
tomorrow.
week's 450. I bought next week's 450.
How much are those?
38 cents. So basically, I'm selling 38 cents. So I'm selling the $4. I'm taking the profits. I'm basically rolling up, right? In case Disney really causes this thing to catapult tomorrow. So I'm basically selling the 4 and rolling it up to 450 on Fubo.
Yeah, I might look at some lottos. You're right.
Because this thing could look at what it did prior when the news initially hit. So look, this can look at the next target. By the way, after 460, the next target is 490. Maybe that can happen today. I would say more likely, let's leave that for the Disney catalyst for people to break this out to the next level of 490. That's what I'm thinking.
490 and then?
Forget about it then. Let's take it one step at a time. 490.
Yeah, we'll go with those contracts.
490 and then like 6. 490 and then 6 is what. Well, there's 532, but well, let's just stick it. 490.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay, good. Okay.
All right, NBIS is disappointing today. A little bit of a drop here.
Yeah,
Is that
I'm actually thankful on NBIS because I'm like, you made it quite compelling. So I'm like, you know, I should pick something up, but the calls are so expensive.
too expensive? I don't have any.
Oh
calls
my
in it.
gosh, it just like it put me off, so I stayed away and I focused on
Yeah.
Fubo and AST. Fubo calls were beautiful, like I didn't find them expensive at
They
all.
were so cheap. Fubo
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah, they were perfect.
Yeah, I just wish I did more size on the Fubo calls, but so it's just crazy how the timing of our calls have been ridiculous this year.
By the way, you missed some entries this morning on I was trimming a lot of ASTS stuff because it was doing beautifully. So I got into $25 calls February 21st for $1, and I made 50% already.
Are you serious?
I sold a good chunk. I bought at a good price, obviously, and I sold a good chunk at 1.4, 1.5 for 40 and 50% gains.
I got into 25, but I guess you did it better than me. I got into 25 at February 14th at $1.
I did February 21st at $1.
I got February 14th for $1, and they're 86 cents now. So I'm down.
What? That's so weird.
Yeah. Well, I guess I bought it.
I guess where you bought it, yeah, it matters.
I
yeah.
bought it like up here or something.
What time did I buy it? I don't even know.
Oh, it's like because ASTS can do it can have a gamma and a short squeeze. So the potential exists for ASTS to make a move to $26 to $28 next week. That potential's out there. 26 to 28.
Fubo looks. I mean, it still looks good. You know, it still looks good. But I'm trying to think if I should just. Don't have much left. I had 800 calls of Fubo, and now I have 150 left. So it's nothing crazy now.
Oh, I also have 150 Fubo calls. For once, we have the same amount of calls. Oh, wow. All right. Now, BBI really broke that resistance. It looks like 520 is the next. It's going to test 520.
Yo, BBAI is such a. It's tough because I was in like big size and I made money initially.
When,
and
today?
Then, no. What, like when Godfather first brought it up.
Godfather first put it out, yeah.
Yeah, and I got like good calls, and I think it was February 21st, and they were nice. Like they weren't too much premium. And I just sold like the day before this started popping. It was just annoying. But anyway, it's very happy with other plays.
So 520 is the target now on BBI. I'm not in it. I sold some at I had very small amount in my Webull account, which is a small account. I sold that around the target that I had, which was 470 for the day. But now at this point, it's 520.
But Ben, you see, I'm telling you, like I didn't swing any puts from yesterday. Thank God, I didn't swing anything. I just swung the ASTS I was in and the Fubo I bought just before the close and PBI that I'm in. But man, every day you come here and you give crazy picks again and again, and even if it's the same pick 3 days in a row, and it works.
It works.
You know, it's
there. You go, ASTS 3 days in a row.
Yeah, beautiful.
Awesome. Glad to hear it.
Thank God.
Keeping my eye on this SNES tech. This is crazy. You know who would love this one? Oh my gosh, Supped Up would love SNES tech. He would love it. I gotta tell him about it later. Wow.
There's no options though, right? No. When you asked him,
you know, that's ridiculous. That they need to actually. Maybe they're gonna contact me later. Hold on. They need to get a transcript of the interview because usually, very often when I interview CEOs, they ask for a transcript and then they do a SEC filing. A disclosure. I forgot what the form is, but it's like a disclosure document because he released material news on that conference call. I mean, on the interview. That was crazy.
Yeah. Wait, he
like,
said
I
that...
think it's out there. Isn't it out? Oh, if it's not out, it'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, what? That was pretty crazy. That was funny.
So Indian distribution, but I can't believe it's like they've been doing this New York City subway
Yeah,
pilot
that's big, man. That's big.
for over a month. Was it since December? Was it the order? But they didn't press release
December.
it. Why?
December.
Why would
Yeah,
they not press release that? Like, what are they thinking, man?
Well, they're wait. I guess they're waiting for the. Oh, look at Fubo again.
I
Yeah,
see it.
Fubo.
I see it. Yeah, I think the 450 calls are going to be interesting.
Yeah.
458 high of the day. Let's look for the next levels. What did I say? 490 is the next level.
490. Yeah.
490
Yeah.
is the next level. But it's got to really. I would say it's got to break 460 though to get to 490.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you could see options a little bit trickier. And with the common shares, I think you could see 490 in extended hours tonight or tomorrow morning with the.
No, that might be a way to play it. Just get into common shares.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Disney hype.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, let's see if I get my
extended hours.
70 cents and then I'll buy some common.
I know when I went back to when I was in New York, the subways and all that, the rats were horrible when I was there.
I know they're
Yeah, yeah.
disgusting.
It's really bad.
I mean, that's what I'm telling you. Like, he's all excited about the agriculture.
No, it's huge here down in Florida too. The sugar cane and all that, it destroys everything.
Oh, so
It
you know
eats-
better than me living in New York City. But I was saying, like, what's going to resonate with investors is a New York City story.
Yeah, it just sold at 70 cents, 100%. Beautiful.
Which one, Fubo?
Fubo, yeah.
Okay, maybe it's $4 calls. I got in at 41
Sure, I like
cents.
that.
They're now 70 cents. I need 80 cents for 100%. So I think what I'm going to do is sell these Fubo calls at. I got 50 left. I'm going to sell them at 80 cents to get 100%, and then I'm going to hold the 450s into the event. How about that?
Yeah.
No, you don't like it.
Wait, sorry, say it again. Oh, sorry.
I'm selling the 454s. I only have 50 contracts of the 4s left, and I have 100 contracts of the 450s next week.
Oh, I
So I'm
see.
thinking of selling the final 50 calls here at 100% gain, which is another few cents,
Yeah.
and just being out of those and just keeping the 450s into the event.
Keeping the 450s into the event. Yeah, I mean, I like it. Up by alley.
But
Should
no,
I
I'm not
pick-
getting my price though. I got in at 41 cents. It's now 64 by 70. It was 70 by 73 a second ago. Order at
Yeah.
80 cents. So we'll see if I get that.
That's beautiful, though, man. That was such a good trade. Fubo, man. Wow. Every day. Wow.
Every day.
Every freaking day.
Every day.
I got a nice screenshot.
Historic
for you.
levels on SNES. Someone wants the chart. All right, look.
Have you
I
guys
don't know the
ever-
history here, but you look at this. They've obviously had a lot of dilution. 89,000, 200,000, 400,000, 500,000. They've had a lot of reverse splits and a lot of dilution. Right now, I'm thinking about this as a catalyst play on the catalyst he was just talking about, and the fact that it's a low float rather than like an investment. We'll have to see investment-wise based on their execution and stuff. But for now, I'm looking at this as, again, let's see the levels. 325, which I got rejected, I tell you. So 325, 370, and then potentially 425. Those are the three numbers. 325, 370, and then 425. These are the levels to look at on release of any press releases, which seems like they could have plenty in the coming period. And now we got a clean break of 460 on Fubo. So 490 could really be your target here. And let me see, am I being able to sell the 4s yet? They're 72 by 75. I'm asking for 80. I need a few more cents here.
Nice. How's it?
We do this every day, guys. This is
Every
a free show
freaking
on
day,
X.
man. Yeah.
Yosef, you want to put your, if you want Twitter followers, what's your Twitter handle?
I'm not too bothered, but you can put it if you want. I'm not so.
All right. Well, it's up to you. You can change it there if you want. But Yosef has a Twitter handle, but you can find him in our Discord as well.
Ben, have you ever had to hire like an exterminator before? Or no.
Oh yeah, we have mice in our house. They
Yeah,
come,
they're
they
not
get
cheap.
poisoned.
They're a couple $100,
What?
if not thousands. And here's the thing: they can replace all these people by ordering it on Amazon and stuff. If you think about it, for $50 compared to hiring the exterminator.
I know. We might actually do that.
Yeah.
We might actually do
No,
that.
also
because
he
it's
said
fast.
there's literally no competition to what he does. That's pretty
Well,
big.
he said that. Hopefully, that's accurate.
Yeah, I was looking
Yeah.
into it. There's
True.
not. It's all poison. It's
Really?
pretty much like a birth control for the
Oh
rats and
my
stuff.
god! You know what? Um, good job looking into that, Rhett.
And freaking Fubo. Wow.
Good job looking into that, Rhett. I just bought a little bit more. It's only letting me buy 500 shares at a time on Fidelity. I'm gonna message what's his face about this. Supped Up is gonna love this. Oh wait, I have a conference call. What time?
By the way, ASTS now super well above Geo as the like number
Wow,
one
good job.
winner.
Good job.
And again, the Geo exit was so perfect.
I
It's
know.
like
Oh,
Every
I
exit.
didn't even get back into it
Matt
since that
Monday,
exit.
beautiful.
Since that exit, I haven't been back in.
I know.
It's incredible, man.
Oh, I've been on a freaking tear. It's ridiculous.
Crystal ball.
500% returns, exited perfectly right on that Friday and Monday, and then we should have went puts.
Dude, and I predicted that 3 weeks in advance too, to the
Oh.
day. 3 weeks in advance, I predicted
Yeah,
the
yeah.
target range. And
No,
the
it
exit.
was it was too like if you're in the Discord and you're listening to you every day, it's just that was easy, man. That was easy to capture. Like I was sitting in geo calls for like 10 days, I think, just
so was I.
waiting, and it paid off. And I kept averaging down. If it had
Yep,
a
me
little
too.
drop,
I did
and
average down
averaging
that
up. I even averaged up once or twice. Like it was beautiful.
Oh, Ross wants time again before September. Well, look, I don't know that he's gonna. He took a couple of the ideas I gave him, OPTT and Mob, but a lot of the other one. What was it? You know which one he didn't take, which we killed, was what's that drone stock? The Donald Trump Jr. UMAC. I don't like it or whatever. I don't know. He didn't go for UMAC, and then we got this move to $20 like 2 days later. That was crazy. So
Yeah, that was.
he doesn't take all my ideas. Oh, BBI
is going to work too. Oh, you said
What?
BBI. I'm saying PBI is going to work too. It's just a little bit more patience, I guess.
It's gonna work.
It's already
Absolutely.
worked. I'll say that. But
It's gonna work.
Hey, you see
You're
what
gonna get a second.
Juan sent you in the channel? Do you want to check that out with that flow on that one?
What do you send me?
He pinged you on a flow on the one stock that you like.
Who did one
Yeah,
in VIP trading?
yeah,
Let's see.
1027.
Oh, can you put the Discord link and maybe a coupon code for folks here if they want to join us?
Yeah, let me see.
Flow from Juan on what? I don't see it. Avgo Merck. I know Ben was on this name. Which one is he talking about? Oh, Berna. Yeah, I still own Berna, but I reduced some in my long-term account yesterday, but I'm still in Berna. That was awesome.
okay, I think I'm kind of done for the day here.
Yeah, without a doubt. I am definitely
Yeah.
done for the day. Great job on
ASTS
Mark that I want to do.
Look at
daily.
RCAT. Hit the what did I say? 960 target on RCAT. Hit
Wow, look
958.
at that. Well done.
The 958. I got out early though. Rambus hit the target, which is that was the DeepSeek price before the news, and IEST not really working out. All right, guys. Looks like
Okay.
we're all done for the day. It's storytrading.com/Discord. Is there a code we can give folks who want to join
I'm
us?
checking that right now. If not, you want me to make one real quick?
Let's make a code for everyone.
Okay, I'll see you guys. Thank
All
you so
right,
much
thanks,
again.
What are you feeling, Ben? How generous?
You're in charge of that. I don't know.
Alrighty, you can use. Let's level up. Alrighty. So you guys can use. Feeling very generous today. You guys can go ahead and use code Level Up for 80% off the first month.
How much?
Alrighty, and then
How much?
80%, 80% the first month.
80%. What's the code? Level Up.
Level Up.
80% off the first month. At storytrading.com/Discord. Code Level Up. All right. We'll see you in our Discord. You're not going to get another free show like this for a while. Nothing scheduled. All right. We do this live trading just for our Discord community. Thanks for joining, everyone. Good luck.
Hope you
Have a
guys
great
made
day.
money today.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.